Seabass back with hitting coach for the Jackson Generals, Corey Snyder. Corey, first of all, welcome to Jackson.
Hey, it's great to be here. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now you can draw. You can help these young men draw from years of experience in the major leagues. I remember you basically an American League guy, but talk about some of the time that you spend in major leagues.
Well, it was a great time. I was blessed to be drafted in '84 by the Indians. Spent about 5 years there, and then kind of started a little tour of being traded a little bit after the White Sox, Toronto Blue Jays. And then I signed as a free agent with the Giants, and then a deal with the Dodgers. So it was a great time, loved it. Wish I could have went a little bit longer, but that's baseball.
I would love to ask you about this because on the show we talk all the time about athletes when it's time to retire, and it's got to be one of the most difficult things that you ever do in your life. You probably played the game since you were 5-6 years old, played it 35 years. All of a sudden there's that realization, if I want to stay in this game, I'm going to have to make that transition to a coach.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of it's kind of a hard transition. I think the biggest thing is '94 was with the Dodgers, and that's the year of the strike. Year we didn't have any playoffs. I think we had 6 games in first with the Dodgers, and it was a tough time. And I think it was a tough time for a lot of people there. We just weren't able to get back in the game. But I've loved baseball. It's a great game. These kids here have a great opportunity. I coached my kids through about 10-year period. Got back in the game about 4 years ago. I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching. All the years of experience and all the hitting coaches that I had, with all that knowledge, I'm able to give back to these kids. So it was a great time, and baseball's unbelievable. But I think having a couple years off, I went back to spring training in '97 with the Cardinals, and just having that time off, I think priorities changed. Couldn't wait to get home and see how the kids were doing, and I think having that time off, I just wasn't good enough anymore to play in the big leagues at that level. And that was the time that I decided it was time to go home and be a dad for a while.
Corey, let's talk about this for a second, because like a Generals fan comes out here and they see a guy knock the cover off the ball. They see outstanding players come in and all that, but there's a major difference between a legit major league player and a minor league player, career minor league player.
Oh, it's a big difference. I think it's just it's between A ball and AA. It's a big jump in my opinion. But between AAA and the big leagues is a bigger jump. It's just everybody's better there. It just seems like the higher you go level-wise, the pitchers, they make less mistakes. And the higher you go as a hitter, you don't miss those mistakes. And it's a great game. I think the biggest part about these guys moving on is going to be the mental part of the game. Having a plan when you go to the plate, having a good idea of what their job is to do at bat, that pitch to help the team win a game. And that's what this game is all about. And my job is helping these kids have a plan, having a good idea when they go to the plate what their job is, that pitch, that at bat, that game, whatever it may be. And it's tough, this game. One thing as a coach I'll never forget is how hard this game really is. And it's just it's a game of failure, but it's a great game because when you succeed, there's nothing better. It's the greatest feeling in the world. So my job is to hopefully get those feelings to these players, and hopefully they get a lot of them.
It's a game of fair. Is absolutely right. If you strike out 7 out of 10 times and get on base 3 out of 10, and get a hit, you're the man. You do it 2.5 times, you're looking for work. It's unbelievable. But I've always wanted to ask this, and I think a hitting coach would be the perfect person to ask this. And now you won't have to deal with it being an American League team, but pitchers in baseball, and now with interleague baseball, you actually do have to worry about that a little bit. Pitchers end up having to bat, but most pitchers, where they were in high school, they would bat, and they were probably the best hitters on those teams. Why do they? And I know this because I hadn't done it in a while, but they looked as if they'd never picked up a baseball bat in their life.
It is. It's kind of hard, but it's been a long time. They don't take as much BP as the rest of the guys do, and to be honest, they're out there, making their money on the mound, But again, you know what? Last year in our league, they actually had the pitchers hit, and there's some pitchers that take pride in what they're doing, and it's just kind of one of those things. But they just don't get to take enough BP, and I don't think their focus is much on hitting than it is on the mound. I think they need to focus a little more on bunting because that's kind of what their job is when they get up there. But I'm kind of caught in between whether I like the pitchers to hit or not, because sometimes it's kind of give away at bat. But to be honest, in the National League, it gives you a lot more moves, a lot more things done. You know, the managers have to think a lot more, try some double switches, who's going to come up, what we're going to do. So, I mean, there's a lot more moves, a lot more exciting games sometimes than just sitting there and swinging away. And they got to make a lot more things to do.
Corey, pretty much anybody in the Generals uniform right now can time a fastball, catch up to it, and learn to hit it pretty effectively. That's all well and good, but that won't get them to where they want to go. They have to learn to do other things. They have to learn to be able to hit the off-speed pitches. We saw that with Mike Wilson. Mike Wilson, who'd been here at West End for a few years, really struggled to hit the off-speed stuff. And finally, he got to work, you know, and hitting instructor came with him, and he learned to hit that, and he advanced up some, you know. But what do you say to these guys who've been knocking the cover off the ball their whole life, and all of a sudden they're finding it much harder to hit? And they're finding the off-speed stuff harder to. How do you coach these guys to do stuff like that?
Well, you know, to be honest, I think, you know what, if you throw a good off-speed pitch, it's not one you want to hit anyways. You know, if you've got that nasty slider, that nasty curveball, that great changeup, you know, you're going to hopefully hit the mistake, the one that they hang a little bit, the one that's a little bit up. So the biggest thing is these guys need to understand that if they throw that good nasty curveball or slider on the outside corner, your best bet is to foul it off. You know, so the key is trying to hit those mistakes. When they hang that curveball, you don't take it, you jump on it. And I think that's the best thing you can do. You know, you've had to, all these guys, they can hit the fastball, like you said. They can jump on the 95-mile fastball and turn it around pretty good. But the key is, you know, learning when it's going to come, when to look for it. And in my opinion, jumping on that off-speed stuff that's up a little bit. I think they're so drilled on staying off the pitch that's up. I see in the minor leagues too many guys take that off-speed pitch. It's a little up. It's probably a ball, but it's one you can handle and get on. So the key is looking fastball, but being able to recognize that off-speed pitch up and be able to take advantage of it and jump on it. And I think that's the biggest key that these guys need to realize and understand, that it may be a ball, but that's still a good pitch you can drive and do something good with.
Corey Snyder, hitting coach for your Jackson Generals. Corey, thank you very much. Look forward to a great season with the Generals.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.